What's up? What it do, cyber world? It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com. AshSaidIt.com. This is the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. Positive motivation, good vibes, good positive vibes, babies. All right, so I want to talk about something that I was asked about quite recently, and I wanted to pretty much put it back out there. I believe I've talked about it previously, and some of those people may not have caught that show, but we're talking about exes, and do you regret those relationships? I believe that in each situation, there's a lesson to be learned. There's a lesson to be learned in all those situations, and I feel as though you have to just take it with a grain of salt. Case in point, I had an ex that perpetrated. He pulled the wool over my eyes, and it worked because I was in the most vulnerable state of my entire existence after my mom passed. And this person, he portrayed himself to be a certain way, and he was the complete opposite. And he was a predator. And preyed on my emotions and time and efforts and everything else, and did not pour back into me. And it wasn't until the situation had escalated. Basically, long story, you guys, we didn't have an argument. We didn't have a disagreement. There was no differences or anything going on. Buddy just drops off the face of the earth for about 3 months. 3 months. No text, no emails. I'm calling. Phone number is being cut off. I'm like, well, what's going on? All kind of scenarios are going through my mind. We didn't have any mutual friends, so it wasn't like I could just call and check up on X, Y, and Z. I could have looked up and found his most recent place of residence and drive past it or whatever. I didn't want to do that because several reasons. And the main reason is that, he had children. And he had kids that were living with him, basically. He had kids that were living with him. And I didn't want to start or create a situation or whatever, because I didn't know what exactly he had told them about the situation, about us, or whatever the case is. And I didn't want to start just random conversations with someone's kids. That's just not what happens. And anyway, so he disappears for about 3 months. And I just went through a very trying time because this is a person that I felt that I got to know fairly well, and just someone that I had spent a lot of time with and a lot of time in getting to know and nurturing that bond that I believed in my heart that we had, but obviously that was not the case. It was very one-sided, and unfortunately it just was not what I thought that it originally was. And someone asked me, they were like, well, if you knew it was going to end out like this, would you still have done it? Would you still have done it? And the answer to that would be no. If I knew, I wouldn't put myself through it. Are you crazy? No, but you don't know until you actually put yourself in those situations. You're not going to know. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up in a relationship that did not work, did not come to fruition of what it was supposed to be. Don't do it. Don't beat yourself about it. Everyone plays the fool. I'm not even going to sit up here and act like it's anything else. Everyone plays a fool, but it's your decision whether you decide to remain the fool or move from it, take the lesson that was given in that particular situation stipulation, and continue to push forward. And that's what I had to do. More than anything, I was hurt because I had fully explained to this guy where my mind space was, where my emotional state was, and he still didn't care. He couldn't have cared any less than he did. And God presented that opportunity for me to learn, because I think for a long time, even before my mom passed, I would not allow myself to be open with guys just because I just didn't want to be in the dating field. I just didn't want to deal with it. It was easier to just not be dating anyone for quite some time. And so when this situation presented itself and he was very persistent in his pursuit of me, and we had a lot of things in common. We had a lot of things that we had in common, but for him to drop off like he did and then pop back on the scene like everything's cool, no explanation. Nah, dog. Are you crazy? You've already been excommunicated. Reaching out to my fellow folks, talking about some, Ash ain't returning my calls. Could you send a message to her for me? Can you tell her X, Y, and Z? You can kick rocks, sir. And that's me being nice, calling you sir, rather than what you really should be called. But in those situations, you take a chance. You take a chance in life. Everything is a gamble. You're not going to know until you actually go into those situations. So don't close your mind off of what could be or what should be, and experience what is happening and what's going on, and you make your own conclusion from that. It took me a long time to forgive myself. I was very mad with myself because I felt as though I should have known, I should have seen it, I should have just walked on by it. But the fact that I allowed myself to be in that vulnerable state was proof that, number one, I'm still human. There was always a question in my mind. And then number two, I'm capable of love. I'm capable of loving someone again. And that was a big question for me for a while. Long time. So, it is what it is. But, I just want to say that I love you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Keep pushing forward no matter what. We continue to do what we gotta do, and making history, baby. Making history makers. Alright, so I want to hear about some of your accomplishments. I want to hear about some of your goals. I want to hear what you're doing for 2018 and how you're going to make it the best year yet. I want to hear about all of that. So shoot me an email, info@ashsaidit.com. That is info@ashsaidit.com. Or you can just go to ashsaidit.com and you can drop us a line there. Or I'm on social media, of course, One Love Ash, the number One Love Ash, across social platforms. And you can tag me in your question. A lot of people like to do that on Twitter now. I appreciate that. And anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, it's cool, it's fun, but real life is so much better, y'all. It's so much better. Oh, it's so much better. I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side, though. Deuces. Yeah.